Hey, what's up? Rob Arnold here, and today I'm going to show you step by step how I get ideas, song ideas, riff ideas, things like that from my head into the computer. How I'll construct a song or a little demo or some intro for a video or a demo for a video. Just, again, how to get those song ideas written down in the computer, so that they're alive and they sound good. They can be shown to other people. They can be built upon. They can be added to, or, just so you don't have a bunch of ideas up here in the noggin that never get transposed. So what we're gonna do is just gonna take you step by step through. Pro Tools is what I use. Everybody uses a different DAW. Everybody has different skill levels. So it's hard to make a video for everybody, but I guarantee from beginner to advanced, you're gonna pick up something along the way. One of the methods you see, tips, tricks, things like that you'll be able to implement into your workflow to get your ideas into the computer and get them sounding better as well. So let's get started. So for me, it all starts with I have constantly melody ideas going through my mind all day. And when I come across one that I really like and I don't want to forget it, I'll either jump on an acoustic that's sitting around the house or something and try to work it out real quick so I don't forget it, and then I record it into a voice note into my phone, or I simply just whistle or hum the melody into my phone. So my phone, in the voice recorder. So my phone has just literally hundreds of just little riff ideas, and when I need to do a demo or make a song or something, a lot of time I'll just reference those and be like, oh, that one's cool, or that one's kind of in the vein I feel like writing, today, or oh man, that sounds great and it would go with this riff. So it's just a collection of ideas, and oftentimes I'll want to take those and get them into the computer and make a little song out of it. So what I'm going to show you today is just putting a riff that I have in my head onto the computer with drums, bass, all that quickly, the formula I use, so you could take some stuff. So today's riff, I thought of this a couple days ago. It just goes like this. The very first thing is I'm just going to create a new track for the guitar here. We'll just label this guitar left, we'll put a right in a little bit. I'm going to put a amp sim on here. Right now I like this STL tone hub. I like the Mark Lewis pack. It's got a bunch of 5150s and stuff through Mesas, which is my typical setup when I'm recording live anyways, but I have myself a little preset here, which is a 6534 through a Mesa. Sounds just like set our input here. Your input is going to be different. Mine happens to be 8-at-1. It sounds like this. Turn that down a little bit here. So that's pretty easy. You can use any amp sim. All DAWs have different ones, or you can buy them. Again, it's the one I'm using right now, STL Tone Hub. And here's the riff that I've been humming in my head for a couple days. So kind of like that, and a lot of the time the riff will happen in my head and it'll evolve once I start putting it on guitar. I'll change something up, or I'll be like, oh, it'd be better if I did this note, or sometimes what was in my head and I put a guitar, it sounds too happy, so I'll evil it up a little bit, whatever. So there was the riff. Now what we'll do is, for the very first step, is just track that. No click track, no anything like that. I'm just gonna get that idea into the computer first, so that then I can figure out the tempo, and then I can make a map, then I'll retrack it. So let's just record that real quick. There we go. All right. The riff is in there. Now what we can do is I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to open up little tempo here, and I'm just going to tap. I hit T on my keyboard, and I'm just going to tap this out and see what the tempo is. So what I'm doing there is I'm just tapping in time. Tap, 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 tap. You can get any metronome app on your iPhone, or I guarantee that every DAW, digital audio workstation, has the ability to do what I just did there, regardless of what you're using. So anyways, it was averaging at around 120. There was some 118, 119, 121, 122 in there. So I'll always just take the average of what that is. And in this case, I'm going to call it 120. So by default, Pro Tools always starts at 120. So that's going to be what we're going to use as the map. If I were to bring in a click track right now, which is the next step, this will not line up with this. Because we didn't record it to the click. I just got a brand new iMac here. This is one of the, this is actually the first session I'm doing on here, and it was kind of a pain in the ass just doing the whole migration from my old iMac and all that. So I'm seeing some hiccups here. I'm seeing things that aren't quite optimized for this M1 yet, but we got it rolling after a painful week. So anyways, now that the click's in there, and personally, I have my own little click set up here. I don't like an accent. So now I'm going to go ahead and just track that idea to this click track here. Okay, so there we got the idea, and good. So now I'm going to create another track here for guitar right. Mono audio track, good. This is going to be guitar right. Now, I have a template set up for all of this, you know, where I can just open up a session. It's got all my guitar tracks, my drums, everything like that ready to go, so that I don't have to go through this process each time. But for the sake of this video, I'm just totally starting from scratch here. So I can just copy over this guy. Now I'm going to track the other side. I'm also going to pan this over to the left, guitar left. Now I'm going to pan this over to the right and track the other side. Okay, I heard a little bit of shakiness in the middle there. Let's check my timing. I see I'm a bit early on some of these here, but I'm not going to go deep into editing on this one. Let's just listen back to that real quick. Hey, sounds fine. Next, let's bring in some drum tracks here. So I'm going to do a new stereo instrument track. So I can have a virtual instrument on there. Call this drums. I like to keep my drums at the top. I'm going to bring in Superior Drummer here. You can use anything. Every DAW comes with some sort of drum program where you can write in Midi, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. I like this Avatar kit, and I like the sound of this Joey Sturgis Prisoner preset. I'll show you what that sounds like in a sec. Change this to notes. Make that look bigger there. All right, so this is what it sounds like. Just a great sounding kit. All right, so I know that number one, kind of the middle C here, is my kick. And then you just find your stuff, kick, snare, that's what we're gonna need. We're gonna need some hats. That's right there. We're gonna need some crashes. All right, so let's just write some drums to this. Now, to write MIDI drums, you kind of have to have some understanding of drums, you know, like what a kick, snare, and hats are, you know, and I'm assuming, let's just assume that you do, and you have to have a, you know, just kind of a sense of being able to play a beat. What would you play to this? To keep it super simple, you just do that. You could do that. I'm gonna put a little spice in it, kind of maybe like a triplet feel. I think that's a triplet feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Dun 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 dun. So I'll like think of what kind of beat I want, you know. You can just get yourself started by putting a kick on the downbeat and some crashes. It's always a good place to start. Okay, let's get a little intro here to it. Come in with that slide. So I'm going to do triplet, and we'll go pop, pop, pop with this. So we'll go. Give myself a little more room to see here. So something like, okay, put a little, put a 16th notes, maybe put a little kick at this, so it sounds. Let me get rid of the click so you can hear that. Okay, so that sounded cool. So now I'm going to figure out where my snares are. Pop. Pop. Okay, there's gonna be one there. I think it was there. Yep. Okay, so we'll get some kicks here. Buka. I want to go buka. So let's put a kick in here. What that sounds like. Boom. Buka. So I'm just kind of repeat that. Boom, boom, buka. There's one of those hiccups I was talking about. Pro Tools is experiencing. Boom, boom. We'll do a little maybe drum fill at the end there, but let me just throw in some hats. So I know there's going to be one definitely here, and then probably here, and here, and here. Man, Pro Tools is not liking everything that's going on right now. Let's hear that. Okay, so I need to double up on those. You'll hear why in a sec. Now there'll be one where we want them. We'll do something like that. With the toms. We need 16th notes for that. So I think it's going to be a let's see, it's probably tom. Yeah. I'm just guessing here. Let's see what that sounds like. Perfect. So that's probably tom 1. Yep. That's tom 1 there. So we'll go to tom 2 here. Same thing like that. Let's make sure. Yep. Then on this guy. Yeah. And I'm going to make this a crash so there's a little more sustain in that ring out there. Yep, and then simply, since it's the same rip over and over again, we can just simply copy this over and do it again. Okay, so, and I'd obviously, if I were like doing this, you know, for something I was putting out or whatever, I'd elaborate on these drums. I'd switch up this fill a little bit, you know, maybe, you know, like a real drummer would do. He'd probably do a kick differently here or there or whatever, but for the sake of this, that's just fine. We're just trying to get the idea down, make it sound good. And we need just a little ending. Bow. Perfect. All right. So now we can put in some bass, and I'm just going to do fake bass, but actually I'm hearing that I want to do maybe some big chords over this. Something like that. I don't know. We'll figure that out in a sec. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate these guitar tracks, because I need 2 more guitar tracks, another left and right for some overdubs. I don't want their playlist information, so they're just going to come up as blank tracks. Okay, I'm going to switch this to GTR left, let's say OD for overdub, and then GTR right, OD. One thing I do too is that my main rhythm tracks, I capitalize the guitar, and any overdubs and solos and stuff like that, I do lowercase, and that's just kind of like an organizational thing. You could do it however you like. So let's see what we're hearing. Dun, 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 dun. I like this kind of the sound of that. Let's see if we just get lucky here. Put my click back on. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try it with a slightly different feel. Let's see, so I'm gonna delete that real quick. I'm gonna try a slightly different feel. Yeah, I like that. Cool. I think that sounded pretty good. We'll know after I do the other side here, and hopefully I can match that timing again. It's kind of like an upbeat timing. I think I'm hitting those on like the and, some of them. Yeah, see that right here? I'm hitting that like on the and rather than on the downbeat. So on that pickup of this kick, that's why I was hearing those. Some of them I was picking up, some I wasn't. Again, let's see if I can match that again, if I can get lucky here. Make sure those lined up. See, these don't line up, so I got a different pickup there. I might have done something bad there. Yeah, these aren't really matching up real well. And part of that is because I'm not practiced at this. That makes a huge difference, you know? Like, if you go in to record a song with your band, you know, early on, Ben Schigel, Kamira's producer, who my old band, we used to produce, he's produced many of our records. Whenever we'd come in to record, the first thing he'd always ask was, how well do you guys know these songs? Because that is a huge thing. If the band knows the songs really well, the recording's going to come out better. So in this case, I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. I don't really know the song well. I haven't played these riffs and practiced them. So I'm kind of like just designing it as I go. And I can see that my timing on all these was off here. So I'm just going to redo them again real quick now that I have a better idea. And hopefully they'll line up a little bit better here. So I'm wanting to go basically side. Again, I'm looking at these two that I just did to see how they're lining up. Definitely discrepancy right here. And right there. So let's hear what I did there. So I'm going to punch into this one earlier. I did that one early. Okay. That's better. Let's bring these guys in. That's good. Yeah, it's fine. Little fade, little fade. As close to there as possible. You may hear a fade, like if you put it in the middle like that. So I like to keep it as close to the next hit as possible. You won't hear that at all. Check it out. Yep, so that stuff's important. Making sure your cuts are clean, you don't hear any cut, and that you put a nice fade on there. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, so same thing. We're just going to hit this guy a little bit earlier. Same problem. So that's how I'm wanting to do it. So I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, that's a little bit better. Good. Cool, sounding good. I'm hearing some overloading, that's a little bit of distortion, and that's because right now just everything is overloading my output bus there. So what I'm going to do is just a quick fix. Stereo, master track, master fader. I'm going to do that, and then just for now, I'll do a little master bus processing at the end to show you, but just as a quick thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on just a trim plugin, and I'm just going to pull this back till it's not clipping. Kind of good enough for now. Gain staging is a whole nother game in itself, and you wouldn't want to just put a band-aid on it like I just did there by just pulling back the trim, because you're still out of headroom when you're hitting your master fader here. So there's different ways I would want to I would create auxiliary groups for my guitars, so I could control them all simultaneously, and I would bring back, right now my drums are just screaming loud in terms of how hard they're pushing the master bus. All the guitars are accumulating, 4 big tracks like that, all that's accumulating and causing me to clip my master bus here. So I'd want to bring those things down before it even hit my master bus. So again, this is just a Band-Aid, putting the trim on there so I don't hear the distortion. Finally, let's do some bass. So I'm just going to do fake bass. Now I could easily grab a real bass and just do this, but I'm going to show you why doing the fake bass can be to your advantage. Instrument track, create. I like to put my bass under the drums, and I'll just color it red here. And bass. And then I'm just going to bring up a bass sound, and I'm going to use Expand, which is just like a sampler program. And I have myself a bass here, which is just a full pick bass. There's tons of options for bass, synth basses, you know, double bass, fretless, slap, all this kind of stuff. So anyways, I just thought this one sounded pretty decent, but we're going to do more to it after what you hear right here. Okay, so it doesn't sound bad. Kind of like a bass, you know? But I'm going to put a little like kind of distortion on it with a Sans amp. I have another RI bass thing here. Now listen to it. And then I might even take a little high end off of there by just rolling this back. Wait a second here. Oh, here we go. But I want the other way. There we go. Sounds like without that. I'll play with that later, but for now, just roll off some high end. I'm just looking for some bottom end support. Okay. Now, then the first thing I'll do is I'm just going to match the guitars, because we're just trying to support the guitars here with some bottom end. Now, I could match the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but what the bass player would probably do is match these. So that's what we're going to do. So, so I know that this is C right here. Middle C on all these middle keyboards here. So that's a C. So here's a little trick. I could find the exact note by trial and error, but I know that this note is C. The number 1, just like the number 2 would be this C, and so on. The number 3 would be this C. So here they're in tune. Another way, a good reason to do this too is because in an instrument like this, this tuning is going to be perfect. So it's a good way to know if your tuning and your guitars are off. If your guitar's notes aren't matching up to this, that means your guitar is out of tune, because these bass notes in a software program are always going to be perfect. At least you'd assume so. A lot of time too, what I'll do in bigger productions is I'll have fake bass in there as well as played bass. So if I were doing this for, you know, something I was going to release on an album or something like that, you know, I would definitely play real bass, but I'd also maybe have this in there too and combine them and see what kind of cool sounds I can get. So anyways, here's the trick. If I know that that's open and the first note of this sequence was 10, I know that I need to go up 10 notes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay. Then the next one is, so I need to go down 2 more, and I can see here that this is, I'm looking at, this is the da, then da, da, da. So this needs to extend this far. See, this is da, it's the same length as this. I can even bring this right here to make it easier. So now again, we're looking at the da, da. Hear that bass behind it? And then we're gonna need one probably here. So if that's 10, this is 9, this is 8. And we see that it goes to the pickup, like about right there. I'm actually early on these right here. Okay, so the next one's gonna start right there. And it's okay that these are slightly early or kind of out of time or whatever. They're good enough right now. Again, if this was something I was gonna release or whatever, I'd go more into editing these. But if you over edit things and make them too perfect, you lose some of the fullness, you lose some of the depth of how it's gonna sound. So even though these are slightly out of time and stuff like that, it's gonna sound good, I guarantee. So that's gonna be 5. So there's one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that was late. There we go. So we need 3. 1, 2, 3. Back to 5. Back up to 10. And that's going to start right there. And then we go back down to 8 for this guy. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. Good. Now we can copy that over, but I'm going to take it one step further and kind of match some of these kick pickup notes. I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to bring this up underneath my kick so I can see those. So we're looking at the bass here, and it goes da paka. Let's see. So that's right. We don't really, so I might, since it's the same note here, I'm going to bring this back and do another one like that. And you'll hear what that sounds like. Listen, it's going to go like this, just like with the kick. Hear that? So right there we want doo-doo. But what note? Okay, yep. So here, I'm going to do that. Let's go like this. This is like that. This is like that. So I'm kind of, instead of just it being straight, da, 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 it's matching the kick pickups. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this over. I'm just highlighting that, making sure that my grid lines are on perfectly, then Command D, and it's duplicating it. And we need one more down. Okay, let's listen to it. Get a bird's eye view of everything here. pretty cool. And that isn't, you know, I haven't adjusted any levels. Everything's still just at unity. You know, I haven't done any mixing whatsoever. Might roll back this high end a little more now. Okay. So what I might do then with this master bus, again, I'd go in and pull down the volumes of everything feeding the master bus, the overall guitar volumes and the overall bass and drums, so that it was getting less of a signal. And then you can really use any type of plugins to do this type of stuff, but I'd probably do the, this list is new to me. Like I said, I just did this fresh install, so I'm not exactly sure where everything is right now, but I'm looking for the SSL comp. There it is. So I like this. I usually set my attack all the way and my release all the way down like this. Just getting a little bit of gain reduction there, and that's kind of, boy, this is going to be annoying if Pro Tools is acting like this all the time. So that's just getting a little bit of gain reduction there, and it's also making up about 3 dB of gain there, which is what we want, just something smooth and transparent that's kind of just leveling everything out a little bit. Not that this really needed a lot of leveling or anything. This thing just sounded pretty good already, but I'd probably EQ these guitars a little bit, and that would be just probably stripping out a little fizziness that I'm hearing. You're probably not hearing. It's just that I know that this fizziness right now is accumulating somewhere, you know, in this 3 to 4K range, and I'd make a narrow there. What I'd do is I'd listen for it, and the most annoying sound I could find, I'd drop out. Probably in that area. And pull that out a little bit. And so you can hear the difference. It's going to be subtle, but the accumulation of subtleties over these 4 tracks, pulling out something like that is going to make it just a little less fizzy. Bypassed. In. Hear that fizziness? It's just smoother. Man, I think maybe it's because of the screen recording software I'm using right now. Maybe that's why my Pro Tools is hiccuping. So overall, I just copied that same EQ to all these. Listen to that fizz that you didn't hear before until you hear the difference. So again, I'm gonna put these EQs on just with that little bit of almost 5K we took out there. But listen to this difference from where we're hearing, and then I'll mute all those EQs. Hear that fizziness? Just a little bit smoother. Sometimes I'll even just put a touch of high end back in on the master bus. And this is just super basic, like I said. Then the last thing, maybe just a little compression to get, I like that classic view, there we go, just to get some volume. Good. So we're not clipping, things are sounding pretty good. Of course, you could take this way further, but hey, you know, some of your guys could throw some vocals on this, you know, and it'd be pretty cool. So as you can see, if I wasn't explaining everything and if I would have had my template set up, you know, I could have done all this in 10 minutes and it would have been that easy, and I could have made like this could be an intro for a video. In fact, maybe I will put this as the intro of this video. We'll see. But it's not hard. You know, you just, like I said, it helps seeing somebody else do it a lot of time. I've said that over many videos, you know. Even I, you know, watch other guys' YouTube or Pro Tools stuff, you know, if I need to know something or whatever, and or I'm trying to figure something out, and I'll be like, oh, that's their method, because everybody has a different method for this kind of stuff, you know, like oh, that's what he uses that for. Oh, that's what that button is. Just kind of stuff, you know, I'm learning stuff every day too. So hopefully you were able to get something from this. I know it was pretty general, you know, but I wanted to show you how quick and easy it can be. You know, you do something like this and then import these tracks into a new session without the audio, and there's your template. Or just save it, call it template, songwriting template, something, you know, and then it just makes it faster. You have all these things up there. So let me know what you guys think, how you do it in the comments, you know, if you'd like to see more of this, if you'd like to see me mix this a little bit further, you know, I could do that. This is my first Pro Tools kind of, I don't know if tutorial is the right word or whatever, but I finally got this new Mac where I've been waiting to do the screen sharing stuff, or screen capturing stuff, which I wasn't able to do on my old Mac, at least the way I wanted it to. So I hope this is going to turn out well and that you guys enjoyed it, and sorry for all the extra talking here that I'm doing. There's a lot I want to say, but I also want to keep it kind of compressed for you here and keep it simple. Thanks so much. Please check out some of the other videos on my channel, my Patreon campaign, my Kemper profile pack with tonecrate.com, my guitar DVD, anything I just like to teach. And you can support the channel by sharing this video, making sure you're subscribed. Thanks so much. Rob Arnold signing off. I'll see you on the next one, guys.